Hello everyone, and welcome to another React video, I guess you can call it. And today I'll be watching the football genius known as Colin Cowherd behind his, overly compensating sized desk as he, berates my team and thinks the Steelers are still better. So let's just get into it.
Imagine if there was this company that was terribly run, and then they added a couple of employees, and I had the audacity to say, yeah, but it's still a poorly run company.
So hang on, just
Colin is rude.
Before he gets into it and look at his stupid face, he's comparing a football team to a company. So like a business. Granted, football teams are businesses, but the football teams themselves, like the players, that's a sports team, not a business. There's a business aspect to football, but football teams themselves are not a business. Anyways, continue, sir.
He is unfair. And then there was this,
which he is, but that's just my opinion. Go on, sir.
Company that was well run forever, and they lost one good employee. And I said, yeah, but they're still a really well-run company. That's what has happened.
He's talking about the Steelers, a well-run company that lost two of its star players in free agency. Now, to me, and I'll use his metaphor, so he'll seem like the smart guy. A smart and well-run company, like let's say it's a sales company, and they lose their two top salesmen. Since it's a business, as a good company, you want to try and keep those players, those salesmen, on your team, because you don't want them making money for someone else or making plays for someone else. But continue with your point, sir.
NFC North, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a great owner, a great GM, very good coach, good quarterback, good O-line, good start. Lost Antonio Brown, and I'm supposed to believe now they're reeling and the organization is in a free fall. The Cleveland Browns have been the laughingstock of the NFL for, I don't know, ever.
Yeah, ever? Are you like a 12-year-old, sir? I don't know, since like forever. Like, use grown-up words, please. And let's see. What was he saying? Oh, since ever. Try last year. We weren't the laughingstock then. 2007, I wouldn't say we were a laughingstock, but still. But anyways, last year, you know what happened when people were laughing at Baker Mayfield and Freddie Kitchens and everyone else? They took it on the chin, and they went out and played a good football. I wouldn't call them a laughingstock. So you have a rookie quarterback who breaks the all-time passing touchdown record in 14 games, 13 starts in Baker Mayfield. You have Nick Chubb. He didn't get a full start either. That's the reason he didn't reach 1,000. He's at 997. You have Denzel Ward, a lockdown cornerback. Myles Garrett, 20.5 sacks in his first 2 seasons. I wouldn't call that a laughingstock. Your supposed Steelers, we tied with the first game. We lost to the second game. I'll admit it. But to be fair, we were still a young team. And now, Freddie Kitchens is the head coach, but we'll get to that. And we'll have the full offseason to work with. And we won't have to worry about the HBO Hard Knocks with the cameras lurking everywhere. So people can just relax. But anyways, continue with your point, good sir.
They add a couple of players who, by the way, have never lived up to their contract.
Never lived up to their contracts. Even though OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. for your non-football types, has been hailed as one of the greatest, if not the greatest wide receiver in the league at the time. And he's only 26. But doesn't live up to his contract. Maybe because he has a 35-plus-year-old quarterback throwing to him. You know what Baker Mayfield did with, I would say a underutilized and unappreciated wide receiving core last year? He threw 27 touchdowns, sir. which beats Peyton Manning in his rookie year, and Russell Wilson. And he didn't start all games. But anyways, continue with your point.
Injuries, ego, attitude, just haven't. Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, Odell Beckham, and now you think they're in the Super Bowl. Even people I like, Joe Thomas, smart guy, now is putting Cleveland, a poorly run business for, I don't know, ever.
Again, not a business, but go on.
Into the Super Bowl conversation. Folks,
that's what Vegas puts them at. They're behind, what, the Chiefs and the Patriots last time I checked? In terms of just raw talent. Think about it. And when Baker Mayfield wants to get a football to someone, he'll get it. Colin, you remember that 60-yard dime to Jarvis Landry against the Panthers? The 30-yard one to, I want to say it was either Brashard Perryman. It was Brashard Perryman during the Ravens, or it might have been longer, my bad. And then it was Rashard Higgins. It was a 30-yarder against the Broncos. Oh, and I forget who it was too, but Baker Mayfield. It was in trash time in the second game against the Steelers, but in the middle of 4 Steelers defenders, he got the ball to someone. I forget who, but he got the ball to someone. Now that's both the wide receiver's job to catch it after it leaves Baker Mayfield's hand, but the way Baker Mayfield throws, and with OBJ, Jarvis Landry, and David Njoku, and Antonio Callaway out there. What defense? I'll ask you this, Colin. What defense is going to stop the Cleveland Browns at this point? If everyone stays healthy, mind you, as you know, injured players can't play. But tell me, what defense would be able to stop the Cleveland Browns if all these players are healthy? And I'm not even talking about the running game yet. I'm just talking about the wide receiving. Whew. Anyways, continue. Continue, sir.
The last 24 Super Bowl coaches. I don't even want to. Guys in the back, don't put the graph up because it's confusing to the audience.
You just call
the last
audience is stupid.
Years,
okay.
24 coaches in the Super Bowl. It's overwhelmingly been this: Belichick 6 times, Coughlin 2 times, Pete Carroll or one of his protégés 3 times, a Harbaugh twice, 3 Andy Reid protégés 3 times.
Okay.
Young, smartest coach in the league, Sean McVay, Mike McCarthy.
All right.
And Sean Payton. That's overwhelmingly who's made the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's like either a great coach or somebody that learned under a great coach, Doug Peterson, Andy Reid.
Fair point.
And you have Freddie Kitchens making the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who's never been a full-time coordinator for a season.
Sure hasn't.
Who was a running backs coach.
Yeah, but you see his offensive production when he was in charge. You see what he was able to do with Baker Mayfield and his wide receiver weapons and the running game. Do you see that, Colin? Do you see what he was able to do in such a short amount of time? Now, imagine what he can do with a full off-season of work as head coach. Imagine what he can do with a full season as head coach. Just imagine. Anyways, continue, sir.
Till last year, week 8. They don't even have an elite staff. Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator, grease fire last year in Arizona.
All of Arizona was a grease fire last year, so go on.
The guy they have now running their offense got fired in Tampa.
Was a top 5 offense. Continue.
You really have them going to the Super Bowl.
Sorry, top 5 passing offense, I believe. My mistake.
I told you there was a really well-run company for 50.
Again, you're going back to this company point, Colin. I don't understand it. Football teams are not companies. They have a company aspect to them, but that has nothing to do with the players. That's a team. That's a sports team. I'm not saying a little league team is a company. I'm not saying a professional basketball team is a company. It's the players. But continue, sir.
50 years that lost 1 employee.
2.
Wouldn't I sound like an idiot saying, oh, they're free-falling?
Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. You keep saying 1, Colin.
Similarly, wouldn't I sound like an idiot when you have a franchise for 20 years has been the league's most poorly owned run franchise?
That's fair. I can agree with that. But we switched it around last year, which I wish you would recognize. So 19 years.
Adds a couple of underachieving employees.
Three. Hang on. Just let me get up my Norton Anthology World Literature here and look up underachieving. Yeah, three Pro Bowls isn't underachieving, son. I'd like to know where 3 Pro Bowl appearances and All Pro and all that is, and is underachieving. So I'm sorry it doesn't live up to your high standards, sir. Three Pro Bowls, whatever.
By the way, Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon never lived up to their contracts.
I'm gonna just say they had bad coaching. That's what I'll put it to. But we'll see what happens.
John Dorsey, GM, run out of Kansas,
which he got to the playoffs, sir. Do you see his team? He got Patrick Mahomes, built up the team. Do you see what he was able to do, though? You see the intelligence of John Dorsey, sir. He got them in the playoffs. He got them somewhere. Run out of Kansas City, and then we smartly picked him up because he knows what he's doing. Anyways, continue.
City. Odell Beckham, 16 games missed last 2 years. And you want me, because of those added employees, to say, yeah, I think they're in the Super Bowl.
Granted, I believe the Super Bowl is a stretch for the Cleveland Browns. A stretch. Playoffs, not so much. Once they get to the playoffs, then it's up to them. But I definitely think they're a playoff contender. At least, at the bare minimum, a playoff contender. Not saying they're making the playoffs, Colin, but a playoff contender. But go on.
Wouldn't that be considered a hot take? Cleveland was 0-16 6 months ago.
Yeah, and 7-8-1 last season. Everyone wants to focus on the negative. But look at the team now compared to then. Look at the coaching staff now compared to then. You can't just go by that one number, good sir. Because Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Kaiser are 2 very, very, very different personalities and quarterbacks. But go on with your point.
They were 2-6 on the road. Little chaos, blown out 4 times.
Yeah, we also had several overtime losses. Now we couldn't get the job done then, but that's why we practice. And we had several games we lost by 3 points or less. Why don't you talk about those numbers, Colin? But no, go on. Yeah, we got blown out a couple of times. So does every team.
They were 1-5 against playoff teams. Their only win against Joe Flacco, who stinks and got benched. The last rookie head coach to win a Super Bowl was George Seifert, 49ers, who were great everywhere. GM.
John Dorsey is great GM.
Quarterback, owner.
Baker Mayfield's a great quarterback, but you don't like him because, he made a couple of mistakes in college. Because college kids aren't perfect. I'm so sorry. Ridiculous.
Roster, O-line.
Okay, let's talk about the roster for a second. You got Baker Mayfield at quarterback, who I know you don't like. You don't like his behavior, rather. He's not bad. I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't like him. Sorry, he has confidence. Anyways, Baker Mayfield, good quarterback. Good offensive line that, after Freddie Kitchens took over, sacks went significantly down. So let's see what he does this year with full head coaching. Let's see. Defensive line, Myles Garrett, ring any bells? Larry Ogunjobi, Christian Kirksey, Joe Schobert. The defense is stacked. Denzel Ward, the wide receiving core, is already stacked. Jarvis Landry, Antonio Callaway. You got tight end David Njoku. Orson Fells, I believe, is still with us. I'm not entirely sure. Let me double check. What was I gonna? Man, I can't remember all the good players. Oh yeah, the running back team. We got Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson, who are both phenomenal players. He had a phenomenal rookie season. Duke Johnson is just a double threat. You don't know what he's gonna do when he's on the field. And then we get Kareem Hunt after his 8-game suspension through the middle of the year. Now I don't agree with what Kareem Hunt did, and it was a risk signing him. I hope he turns his life around and, does like a solid maybe 1,000 hours of community service, plus a huge fine. But he seems remorseful, which is what I'm happy about. He's not like, oh, whatever, I got caught, blah, blah, blah. But it could all just be an act. But if we do get rid of him, we still have 2 very versatile running backs at our disposal. Anyways, there's that roster for you.
It's just unbelievable.
It's called hope, Colin. It's called hope and confidence in the future. Plus, with Freddie Kitchens, from what I could tell when the mic'd up in his interviews, he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. And so is John Dorsey. They're not going to take any of the drama or bullcrap. Plus, the whole drama with OBJ is he wasn't getting the ball enough. Which is totally fair, because he has a 35 to 37-year-old quarterback thrown to him. And now you got Baker Mayfield thrown to him. So, excuse me, you might have been a little upset. But now you pair him with Jarvis Landry, his best bud from college, with their wide receiving coach from college. I don't know, but, you're the expert, not me.
Just take football out of it. Well-run company for 40 years.
So, hang on. You're a football. You're talking about you're a sports guy, right? And you just said take football out of it. What does that even mean? You're taking football out of it. All right, cool. Take football out of it. You add several decent players to your team who have the potential to be great, and that probably are 3 Pro Bowls, by the way. Baker Mayfield, John Dorsey, a football genius. I know Freddie Kitchens, I know, is unexperienced, but from what he showed, he has potential. But anyway, we're talking about a football team, so take the football out of it. Continue.
Lost an employee. You really think...
Again, 2 employees, Colin. They lost 2 employees. If we're going with this whole business metaphor. They lost Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. You keep saying 1. Keep saying 1. Now, I get it, Le'Veon Bell didn't play at all last year. So I can see why you're saying just 1, but still.
Wait,
go on.
They have another employee.
And an aging quarterback. 30. How old's Big Ben? 37, 38. Good luck.
Named Juju Smith-Schuster, who's
a great player, but he's look at. Let's watch Colin's reaction.
really good and was.
So, Juju Smith-Schuster is really good, but OBJ is semi-decent. Underrated, or what, I forget what word you used, Colin. I apologize, but you used something that wasn't good or great. Decent players, really good, decent. Anyways, continue.
Targeted and almost caught as many balls as the guy that left.
Who's going to be their second wide receiver? Who's going to be YR2, WR2? My bad, WR2 on the roster then? Who's going to step up to where Juju was? Anyways, continue.
You think they're going to free fall. And this other poorly run company added some don't show up to work a lot, underachieving employees.
Underachieving. That was the word. Thank you for reminding me. Hang on. Where's my notebook? Write this in big, bold letters for you, Colin. Hang on. 1 second. Sorry. 3 Pro Bowls. Circle it for you. There we go. 3 Pro Bowls, but underachieving. You win 3 daytime Emmys for your sorry, you're not stupid, Joe. Your show. It's very underachieving, Colin. Your company gets 3 JD Power and Associate Awards. Very underachieving. You win the lottery 3 times. Very, very underachieving. Or let's see what it involves. You win 3 decathlons. Very underachieving. You win 3 Super Bowls. Underachieving. 3 Pro Bowls. Underachieving. Very underachieving. Go on, sir. You have 5 seconds left on your video.
And you think that's a great team. I mean, people are cuckoo. They're crazy.
Yeah. You get driven crazy when your team's shitty for so long. So, because we were in the trash pit, I'll admit it, but then you see 7, 8, and 1. You didn't tell you that number. You didn't tell. No. Why mention when they were in the turnaround season? Why talk about any of that? No. 0-16. A team that was 0-16 6 months ago. Terrible. Just terrible.
Crazy Town.
I think this is
Crazy Town. Yep. Well, welcome to Crazy Town, Colin. It's called fans who still believe in a team that went 0-16. Good Lord Almighty. Bye, everybody.